thank you to our Conversation Liquidity patron for this episode, Matcha. Matcha aggregates 130 plus DEXs to get you amazing prices on over 5 million tokens. Swap for free, swap without gas, or swap across chains, all in one place. Matcha.xyz. Search, trade, done. GM Farcaster. It is Friday, May 31st. I had to look. What date is it? And you are here with Nanish, Rob, and Adrienne for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. And my voice is shot. I am at consensus right now. And it's just been, very similar to any time you go to any conference where you're trying to talk over like the world's loudest music over and over again. So, and how has it been? I've been away. So what's going on? Anything? Nothing happening?
And you're in an earlier time zone. So thanks for waking up early. Oh my God, this week's been so much fun on the feed.
The feed's been fun. The feed's been very fun.
Yeah.
Well, I've been having fun as well. And so I'm going to start with my biggest thing from Consensus, and my favorite part was the Nouns documentary premiere, which premiered here at Consensus. There was a panel on Wednesday, and then we did a premiere at the Alamo Draft House, followed by an after party that included live tattoos. So yes, it's real. I got a tattoo.
Okay.
The Noggles.
Obviously, when you sent that to me, I was like, you were like, oh, another tattoo, because you're known to show up with fake tattoos, temporary tattoos at these parties. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Didn't really give it much thought until later. And I was like, oh my God, congrats.
It's healing. It's healing right now. I'm like, that is the ultimate of Nounish. Also, still not a cult, I swear, even though we all got matching tattoos, I swear. So it was really fun.
I don't know if you can see, but I have GM ear. Oh, I have GM
earrings.
The
GM
I
earrings.
The noggle.
Nice.
Yeah,
I have the noggles in. I do have my GM earrings, and I have those. So we just to kind of quickly just mention this too. We have these walkarounds that were at the Rose Parade, and they were at Consensus, walking around the convention before we were before the premiere and before the panel, and it was really fun to see them just walking around. Though it was the first like people that I saw that I knew were the walkarounds, and I just thought that was hilarious. So really fun. And by the way, so I got to watch it sitting next to Yes to Crypto, and there's a point at which the GM Farcaster theme is in the documentary, in the movie. So there you go. He's like, I'm like, yeah, it's not really just mine. Like, other people own it too. So that was kind of fun. So you can go watch it right now at Shark Pickle Cone if you have the NFT, and you'll be able to see it elsewhere soon. So we may have to do a screening or something, because it's really fun. So moving on, from Consensus, there were a couple of panels that were Farcaster related yesterday. One was on decentralized social, and Ted was repping Farcaster, and she was also on another panel for Crypto the Game, which I'll talk about in a second. And it was funny because her title is Farcaster Power User on all these panels. Because it's like, what else is her title going to be? So we're like, we need to find a better title. Just Ted. Just Ted. It was really good. It was a very, very interesting panel. I did manage to stream it. I get nervous about letting you guys know ahead of time, just in case something goes wrong. But I did stream it and the Crypto the Game panel, and they are both available on our YouTube channel. Audio's pretty shaky because it's it's in the middle of the convention center, similar to the way ETH Denver has like those spots within the big giant space. So a lot of background noise, but you can still get the gist. So go check it out. And
I know you don't like to overpromise, but for people who don't know this, at FarCon as well, Prof kind of shows up with all this recording gear.
So much gear.
And now we have it all set up for the stream. So those streams, like it wasn't official. Like even at FarCon, it wasn't really official. We just tried to stream, same at Consensus. So thanks for doing that for the, public good.
And I might do a couple more today. They're also being streamed with much better audio. I buy CoinDesk, but I like having it on our feed just so that we make sure we capture it. And related, so there was a Crypto the Game panel. And if you're not familiar with Crypto the Game, that was the thing that launched really, it's been run twice now. There's been 2 seasons. It is also Survivor based, and Dylan, who is the founder of Crypto the Game, big Survivor fan. So I got a chance to talk to him about CastOut. So I want to share this and make sure everyone saw this. We have our tribes are now lined up. So CastOut is launching on Monday, and it is a Survivor-like Farcaster game. So all the challenges, if you're familiar with Survivor, this is going to make sense to you. If you're not, like Adrienne, it may not make much sense until we actually do it. But each day, well, twice a week, we're going to have a challenge for the players. First, it will be a team challenge, and then it will be individual for whoever's left after the third one. And they're all Farcaster related or integrated or frames or something. So I'm trying to use as many different Farcaster related things in this gameplay. So this one, Crypto the Game, is sponsored by Lens, by the way. This one.
And CastOut is sponsored by
GM Farcaster. There you go. And our premier sponsor, Pinata. So it was really interesting because I got to talk to him after. And what I'm finding very interesting is when I start to tell people about CastOut, one of the first things they say is, "Can I play? How do I get in? How do I fly?" And I'm like, it's too late. And Dylan, who is
season 2,
season 1, actually, this is season 0.
Okay.
Yeah. So it might be season 2, actually. And Dylan asked if he could play. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'm like, maybe the next season. So we do have our teams, and they will be on Monday. They will get their first challenge. So Monday, tune into GM Farcaster for the first challenge. Will be announced. Bracket game will be going live probably today. So you may see that. And if you're a WoW or Mole hyper sub subscriber, you will be getting a little bonus. So that'll get announced soonish, I think sometime today. So on our teams, on the WoW tribe, we have Brennan, Grace, Heavyweight, Yasik, I Speak Nerd, Nonlinear, Riley Beans, and Ted. And then on the Mole tribe, we have the team leader here, Adrienne.
What?
I'm just kidding. Not the team leader.
Kristen, alphabetical order.
It was, and then I messed up a little bit. Brian from Unlonely, Cameron, Toady Hawk, Dillstack, YB, and Ivy. And here's what I will say is that they are some competitors. Like, I was like, we're going to do a fun little game. There's going to be a prize in DGen. It's, going to be a good time. We're going to play with some bracket game, but you guys are all out to like win. And I love that. Like, it's going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. I was talking to Brennan last night and telling, of course, he has not read any messages that I've sent and has no idea what's going on. And I'm like, okay, you're probably going to end up winning and having no idea how you won.
So Ren Stern yesterday did for Pearl a 24-hour Unlonely stream.
Can you explain why it was for Pearl? Like, what happened? How did that? Do you know how that came about?
I think there was some contest. I don't know.
Okay.
I was trying to understand.
Sure. I'm like, how did this come about?
It's I don't know if Pearl was just the genesis or catalyst, but some game. But he did some challenge. He was going to talk to 25 people on a live stream. I actually think he talked to 30 in 24 hours. 30. So he was just going. Wow. And he might actually still be going. Is he okay? Actually, does anyone check in on him?
Okay, just leave quickly, but then come back. But if somebody can go check on Ren, I'm sure he's okay.
And he was doing it kind of both in Japanese. He's in Tokyo, and he's part of the strong Farcaster Tokyo community. So he was half of it was in Japanese, half in English, people popping in, out. So I came in for half an hour. He was about 7 hours in, really still fresh and alert and great. But he has Survivor. He played Crypto the Game, the first one.
I saw that. I saw your interview, like when you were chatting with him, and it was really good.
So he was just giving me all kinds of insight, and it was great. And I'm trying to be I was like, well, I was just trying to ask if anyone could play wholesome without backstabbing. And backstabbing, is that what you call your
we call it blind sides and backstabbing, and
he pretty much said no.
You got to be, you got to remember that your relationships will continue after the game, unlike the real Survivor, where you never have to see those people again if you don't want to. You still have to see each other on Orfcast, so keep that in mind as you play. But also, you pretty much have to. Eventually, you have to vote out your friends, so that's how you win. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see how this goes. But back to Ren. So that was amazing. 24-hour stream. Grace from Unlonely sent me a message about channel stats for Unlonely. They're just about to release some. And she sent us ours, and we were the #1 channel on Unlonely until Ren decided to do a 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
I was like, Ren, stop. Got it.
Okay. After this week, we're back on top.
We're back on top. You get 1 week, Ren, and that's it. And then you're out. But I did think that was awesome. And I loved how he was going, like when you were still on, somebody else came in and they were, talking in Japanese, and then he'd slide back and talk to you. And I was like, wow, that was impressive to me because I can only speak one language. So I was very impressed by the fact that he was just sliding back and forth without like a second thought about it. And that was pretty cool. So it was very interesting. Was it recorded? Do you know?
I don't know.
I hope so. I hope we recorded it. Because it'd be cool to chop those up and put them out. Or at least I could grab yours anyways. I thought it was really, really interesting.
Yeah. After me was Human Flesh, a Human Flesh artist, which I just learned what it was. And
I didn't know what that is. Yeah.
Did you watch a little?
I didn't. I also wasn't understanding what was happening. So they were talking in Japanese and I had to run.
Very talented and cool. And now I like Human Flesh art.
Okay. I don't know what Human Flesh art is. Okay. I'll dive in later. We may not have time for that. I'll dive in later. But it was very interesting, and it was a lot of fun to watch what he was doing.
Live update from the chat. Thank you, Peachy. Ren is good. We wanted to check in on him, but we'll probably sleep all day as he should. But thank you.
I hope he does. I hope he catches up on some sleep. Okay, in some other news, we have this from Dan. If you are unhappy with the new channel's format, please reply to this cast with specific feedback. The more detailed and specific, the better I can help solve your challenges. So I thought that was interesting that he's looking for complaints. Most people don't go looking for them, but there you are. Here is your place to complain, should you want to. We did do a whole episode on channel moderation on Tuesday, which was fantastic. Thank you again to JTGI, Alex, and Johnny Mac from Nonlinear. And if you didn't get a chance to see it and you're still confused as to what's going on with channel moderation, go watch it because I think you'll find it very helpful. This from Dan. How do channel feeds main and recent work? And the answer is it depends. Whether moderation is on or off determines this. So if you have moderation off, which is the default, if you have not set up, for example, a bot like AutoMod or AirStack to manage that for you, you're going to have priority mode, and it's going to be who the viewer follows, and then the power badge. And then recent is everything, no filtering. And then moderation on is only casts that are liked by the moderator. And this can be done automatically by setting rules in one of these tools. And then priority mode. So who the vote, that's new. Who the viewer follows, and power badge. So that's new because it was still just recent. It was still just no filtering. So that is good to see. So far, I don't know. It's hard to figure out what's the best way to moderate this. But I did add auto mod to, I think the only one I've added so far is builder, and trying to get that a little bit more correctly filtered, because the weird problem we have in builder is people just casting in the wrong place. And because
they're builders.
Yes. And right now they mean to be casting in build, and they're casting in builder. So we've got a lot of build nominations in the feed. It's like,
oh,
so if you're listening, your nominations are in the wrong place. It's /build, please. But there was no way to actually do anything like the warn and hide and things like that. And so it's a little,
and there's no channel pass that forces you to accept the norms before you post. And yeah. Like you don't have that feedback loop that tells people
definitely
why they weren't.
Definitely different. Yeah. And this is a little different, and I haven't played around with this, but this is a very good idea. DAO-based channel moderation and curation, CC Noun 40, could be good for nouns. This was from Dan, and this was JTGI. Curate your channel with your DAO. Crypto Art did a setup for this, and token holders auto curate into main by default. DAO council members can downvote once 2 vote threshold, and this could be any token. Once 2 vote threshold is hit, the cast is removed from main. So that's an interesting approach as well. You can do like a downvote approach.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, I think this is for DAOs that are uncomfortable, or any kind of group, it's uncomfortable putting one person in charge. If you have multiple co-hosts, for example, this could be really useful. I think you could set it up with any kind of token. So this is for any kind of group that's trying to curate. So that was pretty cool. I like that. More here about channels. Can I add multiple moderators to my channel? Yes, it's done through Automod or Airstack. Check out the 2 casts below to see, one, how to do it and how it manifests in your channel. So yes, you can have multiple moderators. Also new on Warpcast DCs, mark as unread and delete. Slide on conversation in your inbox. More, mark as unread. Mute conversation is now snooze, not to be confused with muting a user. Snooze is indefinite for now. We'll likely add time options in the future. And this essentially snoozes your notifications of things coming into that group chat, especially ones that get very busy. So I have a few on snooze. So that is helpful.
And should I be offended? Should I be offended?
No, you should not be offended.
Just curious.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the example.
So basically, you just search for Adrienne and hit snooze is how you use that feature. Pretty sure.
That's how you use the feature. I totally forgot. That was why I actually pulled this one, and I forgot that was the reason. I was like, I guess we don't have to say this one. I almost didn't pull it up, and I forgot you were the example. So that was actually really funny. You got a few comments there. It's so funny. This from Matcha. On-chain summer build-a-thon. Build a simple frame that utilizes Matcha's cross-chain swaps to move USDC or any token from other chains to base. Up to 3 claims available. Winners selected by Matcha team. Amount 1,000 USDC. And this is on Bountycaster. So at BountyBot. So that's kind of fun. I love some of these. I've seen some really cool bounties lately. Yeah, this was a good one. So go build some frames. This from Polluter of Minds and Justin Hunter, and this was a big conversation happening. And I somehow was getting all the notifications because I think I said one thing, and then I just got like every notification moving forward. So you want
fix that, please?
That was a lot. I was like, what is happening? You want sufficiently decentralized, this is from Polluter Minds, you want sufficiently decentralized long casts and other rich media support? Vripan's proposal has it covered. As it stands now, the proposal doesn't require changes to the actual protocol, but requires standards consensus. Weigh in. They did. So I think it's because I also had the first comment or something. Because I had said that we would just,
which was just passing it off to me.
Yeah, I was just like basically tagging you. Yeah, and then it became crazy. But I do have to point out this one particular comment from you that I thought was hilarious. Off topic, but only here can a llamafacts debate a horsefacts, and it's perfectly normal. When is camelfacts going to weigh in?
I didn't even know there was a llamafacts.
Now you know.
Now I'm following you, llamafacts.
Okay. But I did want to talk about this conversation because it was very active. A lot of people weighing in about long casts, and I know you have a lot of opinions. So
I don't have a lot of opinions. I have one opinion, and long casts should stay in their damn corner and not come in my feed. And that is it. That is the beginning and end of my opinion. I do not like long casts. I like long form content. I don't like long casts. So let's settle that. Really, really good quality of discussion. However, though, and so FIP or Farcaster improvement. What's the proposals?
Proposal.
Yeah, I don't know if you've gotten involved in any of these before in terms of kind of protocol proposals. I think this is one of the more active ones, and it is a sign of an engaged community, and I think that is fantastic. I actually asked Polluter of Minds if he wanted to come on, if like we should do a special, like just almost like a talk it out, because there's different opinions. I have my opinion, which is like, what do I do to make long casts not show up in my feed? And that's like the only thing I care about. But people actually, there's a lot of people who really want long casts. So then how do you handle that? And I think the big approach is kind of, it's either in the protocol, right? You bake it in the protocol. Now it's standard. Everyone handles it one way. There's less for clients to do because it's all standard, versus handling it outside of the protocol. This proposal is about almost using ability to kind of do like embeds through IPFS and using that as almost like a standard, the way frames are. So clients would have to handle it, but it doesn't actually change the protocol itself. So protocol would still say the same in terms of is it 320 cast limit or 380 or whatever that is.
But it like would be, but the long part of it would be embedded, so you'd see it, right? Or do you still have to link out?
So it would be the long part would be for it. This proposal is for long part to be somewhere else, not in hubs, but in a standard way. Like so that people could handle it the same. Like clients would be able to handle it the same way.
Right.
Like with anything, it's about trade-offs and constraints and what, you're going to optimize for one thing over the other. There's really no right answer. I kind of like this approach as well. Just it's lighter and it defers. It can kind of defer decisions till later when you're not putting something in the protocol.
Right. And I do think I think the conversation has been fantastic. And I think that is really great. Has the Merkle team weighed in? Like let me rephrase that. Dan and Varun?
Dan and Varun, no, but Merkle devs, yes.
Yes.
And what I thought was also interesting was, the proposal is about for IPFS as, and then there was a whole discussion on just kind of the merits of IPFS and and Pinata is kind of OG IPFS and a lot of, and again, Pinata is the company, IPFS protocol, but even a lot of the people in Pinata are just kind of pure IPFS purists. And I don't know if was horsefacts, I think, kind of pointing out like the faults with IPFS and some of the constraints and limitations, not fast enough, not reliable. And then Polluter of Minds just kind of bringing up like these are actually not valid points anymore. Just like with email or HTTP, like you're not running your own servers, like there's kind of, it's mature to a point where there's kind of systems and infrastructure in place. I don't actually know where I stand on the technical feasibility of it. So I think it might be fun to have a little panel maybe next week discussion.
I think so too.
Wants to come on and talk it out.
I think it'd be really interesting because I think there's a lot to dive into, and just based on the chat that was happening, I think there's a lot of people who are interested in that conversation. So I think that would be a good idea. We may even have to do like a separate one and do it separately at a different time so that we can accommodate West Coast and things like that. But I do think it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
So if you find that interesting, yes, please drop a little note in the chat and let us know if you would like to see that.
And I just, the conversation, I think, open for everyone. Like the more discourse, the better. And there's the low level technical, how do you do it? And that's where a lot of the conversation ends up happening. But even if you're not technical, if you have opinions on the usability layer and user experience, weigh in terms of like what's important from a long cast perspective, because all of those things matter and that informs the how.
Yeah. So even if so that's a good point. So even for those of you who might be anti long cast
or for
Adrienne,
I mean, bring it
but
on.
you might, but if you're like, if I have to live with this anyways, I prefer it like this or that or whatever, and be able to, have that weigh in, which I think is great. I have to note this really quick from Mary, AMS Music. Yes, the human flesh art. He had a thumb drive in the shape of a thumb drive. I just had to say that.
It was really, that's the thumb drive is actually what got me. I saw his, I saw his Instagram, and he's very famous and has like lots of celebs dabbing it. And I was like, okay, it's kind of cool and quirky. But then when I saw the actual, that thumb drive was sick. And I'm like, I guess I don't even use thumb drives anymore, but I think I might bring it back just so
you could use it.
Yeah.
I use a thumb drive every once in a while. So I thought that was really funny. I would just, that's funny. I would just mention Adrienne for every long cast I make. That's funny. Would you mention Adrienne or at mention Adrienne? So in other news.
Good segue.
I thought that was pretty good, huh? Do we have a token yet for at?
Yes, I'm sure there's several.
Yes, check your wallet. Which I thought was really funny. FC devs are asleep. Everyone break shit. Oh, wait, you guys are already ahead of me. So here we go. So in case you missed it and don't know what we're talking about, this is from Woody. I'll bite. What the fuck is at? This is where I should have started. So we had a little breakdown. I still don't know what happened, but something happened where every the little tag with the name became at, and it was no longer linking to anything as well. And it went back and did it I thought I was doing it just moving forward, but it actually went back. I had some old casts, and I'm like, wait, it's doing it to everything. So we had a lot of at going on. And everybody had a little fun with that. I liked this cast from you. Chaotic days with all the ads in here lead to the most fun GM Farcaster shows ever. It's a great promo for the culture. Culture's just going to be at it.
I mean, this is it. And Tab said it so well, too. It's just when things break, we have the most fun. Like, we're here. We're doing it for the culture.
We're doing it for the culture. We're just here
things
for the
not
fun.
To break, go somewhere else. Oh, my God.
Speaking of fun, Doofy. This was pretty brilliant. Yeah, I almost did. And this will be our cover art, by the way. I just haven't had a chance to make the cover yet, but this will be on the cover art for this episode because this was pretty hilarious. So yes, at it's a thing. It's a thing now. I do want to mention a few other things as we wrap up. This from Jacob. We were talking about this the other day. The OP retro round just went live, and a lot of people realized that if you just have Zora contracts, you do not qualify. But Zora qualifies for the OP retro round. And this was from Jacob. FYI, Zora will split retro PGF rewards with creators and developers. And I thought that was really great to see. So thanks, Jacob. We appreciate that because I think everyone was a little thrown off by that. I'll just say thrown off. I do want to also show if I can find it. Oh my goodness, I can't find it. This was just funny, and I'm going to mention this for a reason. When someone
I forgot this happened this
when
week.
Someone says any pizza outside of NYC is the best. Susie, I speak nerd. I need that Kristen template when you have a chance to send it my way. This is the face that some people discuss.
And not.
But here's the funny thing. Ted on the panel yesterday, the first panel, had multiple times where she made that face. And I went, oh my God, she's doing an Adrienne face. Because I could tell she was thinking in the Kristen face. She was thinking something, couldn't say it, but you could read it. You could read it.
Is it the Farcaster disappointed mother face?
That might be it. That very well might be it. We're going to call it that from now on. And I'm also trying to find, hold on one second. I need to find this might be it. This from one of our interns, Alex, watching our first episode of GM Farcaster, Adrienne and Anish Prof, episode 76, with Becca Rogers, Dottie. Why are they freaking out over a change in button spacing?
Does everyone remember that episode?
This is hilarious.
They randomly picked that episode.
I was going to ask, how did they pick this episode?
Totally
That's what I was
random. So we have 2 interns. They are in high school. They are not in college interns. They are not in grad school. They are high school interns.
And they're only for a couple weeks too.
They're only for a couple weeks.
Semester. Yeah.
So yeah, their first assignment was to go watch. I was like, just go watch and you can kind of comment as you go. And they picked the one and they're like, what? Why are you freaking out about memes? And why are you freaking out about button spaces? Anyway, we didn't pull it. Someone else, I think completely separately, casted something. Dan recasted someone saying like, remember this, like never forget the button spacing. So it's a little weird. So I have the interns working on a little video to recap button spacing.
So funny. And then this was like literally just a bunch of people who really like memes. I think that just described Farcaster in a nutshell.
Yeah, they get it. They figured it out.
They get it. They figured it out. And speaking of interns, we do have a college intern as well, Elliot. And so I just want to GM Elliot. He's in our audience. He's watching. And he's working on some clips and things. So I'm excited to see when we finally get that rolling. We've been doing some editing and back and forth, and he will be we'll be releasing those and getting more from him. But I loved their takes. I was dying, like absolutely dying.
I just want them to start memeing, and I want them to beat the Poly Market intern. And
that's the intern we need. Yeah, we need like one doing serious stuff, and then we need them doing that. I think that is great. I think that is fantastic. We're running long, so we're going to call it there. We'll have a bunch of other links in the show notes. The edited version of this will be out soon.
Be gracious with Anish Prof, who's been at consensus and hasn't slept. But thanks. I finally left.
I left the place I was at last night, and I'm like, I've got to go. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, I need to at least get 5 hours of sleep. I got to go. So I finally tore myself away, but it has been fun. There is a Farcaster meetup this morning. So if you are at consensus, we're having a coffee meetup. So find us. If you're not sure where that is, hit me in the DCs.
Do you like my coffee mug?
Oh, I love your coffee mug. I still have to get that shop open so people can also buy coffee mugs. And by the way, I love seeing all the coffee mugs on my timeline as well that people are sharing from the FarCon coffee mug. It's so fun. So keep sharing them. So we'll be seeing some Farcaster people. That's going to be the highlight of today for me, I am certain. So 10 to 1, I think it is. It's a very long coffee meetup, but probably not long enough. So looking forward to seeing everybody soon. And we will be back on Monday. And really important show note, Monday will be the first day of CastOut. I know you all are like, I still don't understand what's happening. Don't worry about it. What you need to know is, who do you think can win CastOut? That is the big question. So start to think about that, because Bracket Game will be launching very soon. So make sure you're ready to pick your winner. And I got to tell you, I know what's happening here. Like, I know what the game is, and I have no idea who's going to win this. And I almost guarantee it's not going to be who everybody thinks it is. Wasn't going to say that.
Is it bad that I keep calling it Outcast? Sorry, it's just, it's CastOut. Makes perfect sense.
We'll get used to it. It's going to take a minute.
I don't know is it bad I don't think I can win?
I think any of you have the potential to win. And if and I know this mostly because I literally have seen every episode of Survivor, like when it came out, 46 seasons, for 20 something years. So when I think about that, and I think about the people who are playing, I can see parallels to many different winners. So I think it's possible for absolutely any of you to win for many different reasons. Some of you are going to have a very strong social game. Some of you are going to have targets on your back. people trying to get you out. Then we have the chaos of Brian. We don't know what that's going to bring.
Hurricane Brian.
So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing, and maybe he'll just be very chill. Who knows? So this could go in a lot of different ways, and we'll see. And I have designed it so it's not too time consuming, except the very first challenge is not time consuming by design, but I have a feeling you all might make it time consuming. So we'll see. Yeah. I have a weird feeling that it may go in a certain direction. So
is it like make a meme? Because I could spend all day doing that.
Not the first challenge. I'm not saying anything else. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, just
very soon.
Just call me Sunday. Tell me what the challenge is before you tell everyone else.
Not doing it. Nope. You're going to hear it live on the air on Monday, 8:30 a.m. During that show, at the end of that show, I will announce the first challenge. It will start at noon on Monday, and it will run till noon on Tuesday. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be doing a CastOut edition. Adrienne will not be co-hosting until she is voted off. If she's never voted off, she will never be co-hosting. And I will have TLDR as my co-host to talk about the bracket game aspects. And so that'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then the voting will be whichever team loses, whichever tribe loses this first challenge, they will be voting on Tuesday between noon and 12:30. And we'll announce live on the show who has been cast out. So look for that. And you'll be voting in a frame, hopefully. Hopefully all of this goes right. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
So Monday it is. So we will see you then. And with that, oops, I forgot we have closing credits. And with that, bye-bye, everyone. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see some of you in a couple hours. And bye.